Hello guys, my name is Milan Sharma and I have some breaking news to share with you. And you probably haven't heard about this, but because of the WikiLeaks, and that should be getting the most attention because the mainstream media isn't showing it. But this should also worry you as well. So I'm going to show you an article on RT News. Hopefully this will work, the screen share. And here it is. So according to RT News, the US and Saudis are granting 9,000 ISIS fighters free passage from Iraqi Mosul to Syria. The US and Saudi Arabia have agreed to grant free passage to thousands of Islamic State militants before the Iraqi city of Mosul is stormed. The jihadists will be redeployed to fight against the government in Syria, a military diplomatic source told the RIA Novosti. So this right here just proves that when the United States, when they signed all these weapons deals, these massive weapons deals with Saudi Arabia that were between $15 billion to $25 billion, they can get away with anything because we don't hold them accountable for their actions, because when we receive money from them, then they can get away with this in turn and create deals that are horrible for the American people. So we continue. More than 9,000 Islamic State militants will be redeployed from Mosul to the eastern regions of Syria to carry out a major offensive operation. So these aren't like foreign troops. These aren't the Syria Free Army. This isn't Syrian troops. These aren't U.S. supported rebels. These are 9,000 Islamic State, which is ISIS, militants. So this is the real deal here. This is crazy. This should be getting like headline attention right now. According to the anonymous diplomatic source, U.S. President Barack Obama has already sanctioned an operation to liberate Mosul, due to take place in October. During the storm of the city in northern Iraq, the U.S.-led coalition's planes would only strike detached, vacated, or in uninhabited buildings while keeping terrorists as targets. In September, U.S. Secretary of Defense Ash Carter confirmed that Washington would send an additional 600 troops to Iraq to help liberate Mosul. So obviously this is ridiculous, because if we're allowing 9,000 ISIS fighters a free passage to Mosul, we're not fighting them. It's just an excuse to send 600 troops. I mean, it's just an excuse, because if we allow them to go freely, then why are we putting our troops on the ground? For what? To protect who? Because we're letting them it's basically like allowing them to go into a trap door and then allowing them to get treasure, and then we come and say, oh, why are they taking our treasure? It's the same exact thing that's going on right now. The source suggests that redeployment of ISIS militants is necessary because, quote, Washington must somehow counter Russia's achievements in Syria, try to diminish their importance. So we're allowing ISIS to go into certain parts of Syria to prove that Russia is incompetent and they're not doing the right thing, which is absolutely ridiculous, because this is going to cause tensions, just like Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton wanted to put a no-fly zone to blame the Russians. She blames the Russians for WikiLeaks, which is, there's no proof whatsoever. So just because they want to, quote, diminish their importance, why would you allow terrorism to spread just to diminish your rival major country's importance? It's just sad. Apart from the purely political dividends, the other purpose of this operation obviously will be to discredit the success of the Russian airspace forces. Again, we're trying to discredit their military strategy. And of course, it's an attempt to undermine Assad. So this is just a whole campaign into trying to take out dictator Assad and trying to allow these ISIS people to go out. This is the same thing as before. When the airstrike accidentally killed over 60 Syrian Free Army people and injured over 100. And they're trying to discredit the Russians here. The leadership of Saudi Arabia's General Intelligence Directorate will be the mediators and guarantors of the agreement on the safe passage for the jihadists from Mosul, he claimed. So this is Ash Carter claiming that they're getting a safe passage. And why isn't this on the mainstream news channels? Why isn't this on the New York Times, MSNBC, Fox, CBS, ABC, CNN? Why aren't they showing this? Because they're benefiting from more troops overseas. These corporations, which some of them are defense contractors, which fund these mainstream media outlets, in which actually funds Hillary Clinton and funds our politicians. So they're not going to report about this. This is very important. Please spread the message. The source added that a similar scheme has been used by the U.S. and its allies during the liberation of the Iraqi city of Fallujah again. So, and then Damascus has accused Washington for coordinating with ISIS after an airstrike against the Syrian government troops, which, oh wow, which actually killed 83 soldiers, 83, not 60, 83 soldiers and injured over 1,000, was a mistake, which is obviously not true at all. So Damascus is accusing us, the United States, for coordinating with ISIS. And at first, obviously, any rational person would think, why would we coordinate with a terrorist group? And the reason really is so we can send. It's all about money. The more terrorist attacks happen, the more of a reason for people to get scared. The more of a reason for people to say, "Oh, we should send 600 more special ops troops," which Ash Carter claimed in this article. And it just reiterates that they have more military intervention, and that's their agenda. And we're seeing it here with, again, 9,000. Here, I'll bring it up on the big screen for you. 9,000. So the U.S. and Saudis are granting 9,000 ISIS fighters free passage from Iraqi Mosul to Syria. So again, this just proves that we need to change our foreign policy. Voting for the lesser evil is BS, because they're both for the banks. They're both going to have military intervention, and we spend over 50% of our budget on the U.S. military, and we need to diminish it a lot and cut the funding for it. Thanks for listening. If you appreciate this, please give me a thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter. The link will be below. And again, this is an article from RT News. Thanks for listening.